Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're jumping into a recent speech out of West Bengal, where a political leader really drew some lines in the sand. He set up this huge clash of ideas, threw out some pretty wild accusations against the Prime Minister, and then made a direct pitch to voters. So we're going to break it all down, piece by piece, and really get into the strategy here.
Okay, so right from the get-go, the speaker frames this as something huge. This isn't just about winning an election, He's painting this as a fight for the very soul of the country. And when you frame it as a clash of ideologies, suddenly every single policy, every personality, it all becomes part of this bigger, much more dramatic story.
So, what are these two ideologies he's talking about? Well, the speaker paints a really stark picture of the choice he thinks the nation is facing.
And yeah, the distinction he makes is pretty much black and white. On one side, he's saying our path is about upholding the Constitution, it's about unity and love. But the other side, he portrays them as the path of hate and violence, actively trying to, tear that same Constitution down. It's the classic us versus them narrative, plain and simple.
Okay, so from these big, sweeping ideas, the speech takes a sharp turn and gets personal. The accusations become very direct, and the target? The Prime Minister himself. And this is where he makes a really stunning claim, shifting the conversation from policy to pure power dynamics. He basically asks, who is really pulling the Prime Minister's strings?
And the answer he gives? It's a total bombshell. He claims the PM's remote control is in the hands of, wait for it, the former U.S. President, Donald Trump. I mean, that is an extraordinary accusation of foreign influence at the absolute highest level of government. So you might be wondering, how in the world does he try to back up a claim that wild? Well, the speaker points to two things he says give Trump leverage. First, he alleges there's some secret file out there with compromising info. And second, he claims Trump knows all about this alleged deal where a major business group got massive favors. A real, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours kind of thing.
And, according to the speaker, this isn't just about looking bad politically. He claims this supposed control has had very real consequences. He says it led to a deal with the U.S. that, and this is a direct quote, sold out the country.
He breaks down this alleged betrayal into four key areas. First, agriculture. He claims India's farmers were thrown under the bus to let in U.S. competition. Second, data. He says our personal data was just handed over. Third, energy security. We supposedly agreed to only buy oil from places the U.S. says are okay. And finally, manufacturing. He talks about a massive deal to buy goods from the U.S. that could threaten our own factories. The picture he's painting here is of a nation's core interests just being traded away.
All right, so after laying out this whole case on the national level, the speaker zooms right in. He brings the focus down to the local level, turning his fire on the ruling party right there in West Bengal. His argument? They're failing the people too, just in different ways.
His first line of attack is what he calls rampant corruption. He points to two huge financial scandals and just look at the numbers he lays out. We're talking millions of people affected and thousands of crores lost. Remember, a crore is 10 million rupees. The whole point here is to show the absolutely staggering human and financial cost of this alleged corruption.
Then he pivots to a classic campaign issue, jobs. He starts by reminding everyone of a very specific promise the state's chief minister made back in 2021. The promise? To create 5 lakh new jobs.
Okay, so remember that promise? 5 lakh new jobs? Well, what's the reality, according to him? A whopping 84 lakh young people have apparently applied for unemployment benefits. That massive gap between the promise and what he says is the reality, that becomes the core of his attack on the state's economic performance.
And he doesn't stop there. He then just rattles off this whole list of other alleged failures, painting a picture of a state in real crisis. You've got closed factories, jobs being sold for cash, political violence, and this thing he calls a syndicate system. Basically, a network where you can't get anything done unless you know the right people.
So, after spending all this time diagnosing the problems, both at the national and the state level, the speaker doesn't just leave the audience hanging. He wraps things up by presenting his party's specific solutions for West Bengal. And here it is, his 5-point plan. It's a whole series of really concrete guarantees, right? Each one offers specific financial and social benefits aimed squarely at key voter groups. You've got families worried about healthcare, you've got farmers, students, the unemployed youth, and women. Every single promise is designed to tackle a specific worry people have.
And then, to finish it all off, he brings the speech full circle. He comes right back to that central theme he started with, that battle of ideologies, and he summarizes his entire political mission with this really powerful, really memorable metaphor. It just perfectly wraps up the contrast he's been building the entire time.
So what have we seen here? We've seen how one leader can fight a war on two fronts at the same time, one national, one regional, and use everything from, global conspiracy theories to very local problems. It really leaves us with a big question. In this age of nonstop information, is this the new playbook for winning power, blending these huge ideological battles with super-specific, hyper-local attacks?